Welcome back to AllGamers, the home of all things gaming, and with Apex Legends now available on PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4, players have the opportunity to try out all the game's characters called Legends. Right now, there are 8 different characters available in Apex Legends, with new characters to be added in the future. Each of these legends have different abilities that give them a unique approach to battle. Whether you want to be one that provides support to your teammates or earns the most kills in a match, there's sure to be a legend perfectly suited to your playstyle. For a closer look, we've put together a comprehensive guide featuring all 8 legends available in Apex Legends. That said, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like down below, and of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things gaming, and of course, all things Apex Legends, and let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you liking Apex Legends so far, or whatever it may be, feel free to let us know. That said, as of the time of recording this, you could revisit this later down the line, a few months in the future, but there are 8 different legends available in Apex Legends. In the future, again, Respawn Entertainment has confirmed that more characters will be added, but to unlock these characters, you'll need to earn digital currencies such as Legend tokens or Apex coins. For more on how microtransactions work in Apex Legends, be sure to check out our other guide going up here either on the channel already or shortly thereafter, talking about microtransactions in Apex Legends. That said, let's jump into the legends currently available. First, we have Bloodhound, who is a technological tracker. His passive ability is Tracker, which allows you to see foes' clues that they leave behind, and his active ability is the Eye of the All-Father, which briefly reveals enemies, traps, and clues through all structures in front of you. His ultimate ability is the Beast of the Hunt, which allows you to transform into the Ultimate Hunter. It enhances your senses and allows you to see cold tracks and move faster. He, as well as the description of Bloodhound, is known across the Outlands as one of the greatest game hunters the Frontier has ever seen, and that's about all anyone knows. Their identity is a mystery wrapped in layers of rumors, such as they are fabulously wealthy, a bloodthirsty murderer, a Goliath whisperer, a former slave, a half-bat, and a dozen other things depending on who's doing the whispering. That said, all anyone truly knows is that Bloodhound is a force to be reckoned with in the Apex games. Bloodhound's unparalleled tracking skills are a boon to any team they join, helping them root out hidden opponents and tracking the enemy's movements. Calling on Earth's old Norse gods to guide them, Bloodhound believes that destiny is a path that has already been laid out, eventually carrying all to their death. But with that knowledge comes strength, because until that day comes, Bloodhound knows they can't be stopped. As for Gibraltar, he's got a role of the shielded fortress. His passive ability is the gun shield, which allows you to aim down sights, deploying a gun shield that blocks incoming enemy fire. His active ability is the Dome of Protection, which allows you to throw down a dome shield that blocks incoming enemy fire. And his ultimate ability is the Defensive Bombardment, which allows you to call in a concentrated mortar strike on a position that you mark with smoke. As for his in-game bio, Gibraltar is a gentle giant with a wild side. The son of 2 SARAs, or Search and Rescue Association of Soulless Volunteers, he has always been skilled at getting others out of dangerous situations that are common in the Outlands. However, he only began to understand the value of protecting others when he and his boyfriend stole his father's motorcycle, took it on a joyride, and got trapped by a deadly mudslide. His parents saved them, and his father lost an arm in the process. Gibraltar has never forgotten that sacrifice and has devoted his life to helping those in need. The Apex games didn't change that, but they changed what it meant. Many of Gibraltar's friends and colleagues have competed in the games for extra money, fame, and glory over the years, and some never came home. Gibraltar joined to keep them safe, and for the first time, his skills as a rescuer and his rebellious nature worked together. He's now become an icon in the Apex games, putting himself on the line of fire to protect his squad and send his opponents running for cover. Lifeline is a combat medic, and her passive ability is Combat Medic, which allows you to revive knocked down teammates faster while protected by a shield wall. Healing items are also used 25% faster. And the active ability is the DOC Heal Drone, which is a drone of compassion that automatically heals those near it over time. With an ultimate ability of the Care Package, you can then call in a drop full of high-quality defensive gear. Her bio says that Lifeline isn't someone you would expect to find in the Apex games. Once the child of wealthy war profiteers, she left home when she learned of the damage her family had caused and enlisted in the Frontier Corps, a humanitarian organization that aids Frontier communities in need. She's since devoted her life to helping others and joined the Apex games to fund the Frontier Corps with her winnings. Since no one in the games is innocent, they all know what they signed up for, and every one of her victories means help for those in need, and as a result, Lifeline has no problem engaging in the popular blood sport. Or so she tells herself. She may seem sarcastic and callous, but deep down she wants to help people and make the world a better place. If that means taking a few people down in the process, so be it. Pathfinder's role is the forward scout. His passive ability is insider knowledge, which will scan a survey beacon to reveal the ring's next location. His active ability is the grappling hook, which allows you to grapple to get out of reach places quickly, and his ultimate ability is the zipline gun, which creates a zipline for everyone to use. Pathfinder is a picture of optimism despite his circumstances. A MRVN or mobile robotic versatile entity, modified to specialize in location scouting and surveying, he booted up decades ago in an abandoned laboratory with no idea who created him or why. With only his MRVN designation to hint at his identity, Pathfinder set off in search of his creator. Pathfinder has learned much in his travels since, like how to make a mean Eastern Leviathan stew, but hasn't come any closer to finding his creator. Still, he never's given up hope and has joined the Apex games to gain a following and hopefully draw the attention of his maker. In the meantime, he remains enthusiastic and helpful, always ready to make new friends, well, and then shoot them. Wraith's role is the interdimensional skirmisher. Her passive ability is the Voices from the Void, which you can hear voices when danger approaches. And the active ability is Into the Void, which will allow you to reposition quickly through the safety of a void space, avoiding all damage. The ultimate ability of the Dimensional Rift will allow you to link two locations with portals for 60 seconds. Wraith is a whirlwind fighter able to execute swift and deadly attacks and manipulate space-time by opening rifts in the fabric of reality, but she has no idea how she got this way. Years ago, she woke up in an IMC detention facility for the mentally ill with no memory of her life before. She also began hearing a distant voice whispering in her mind that would keep her awake for days on end. Despite nearly driving her insane, once she started to listen to it and trust it, the voice helped her harness the newfound power of void manipulation and escape the facility. Determined to uncover her true identity, Wraith began a quest to find out more about the experiments. Many of the old research facilities, however, are buried beneath heavily guarded arenas used for the Apex games. Now, Wraith has joined the competition, and with every match, she gets closer to the truth. Bangalore is a professional soldier. Her passive ability is Double Time, which will allow you to take fire while sprinting, making you faster for a brief period of time. The active ability is the Smoke Launcher, which will fire a high-velocity smoke canister that explodes into a smoke wall on impact. Great for getting out of sticky situations. And the ultimate ability is the Rolling Thunder, in which you can call in an artillery strike that slowly creeps across the landscape. Born into a military family where she, her parents, and her 4 older brothers all served in the IMC armed forces, Bangalore has been an exceptional soldier since she was young. She was a top of her class at the IMC Military Academy, and the only cadet who could take apart a peacekeeper, equip it with a precision choke hop-up, and put it back together in under 20 seconds, blindfolded. 3 years ago, Anita and her brother Jackson were ordered to retrieve a mercenary fleet from the Outlands to aid in the IMC's fight against the militia. However, their unit lost contact with IMC HQ and were ambushed on arrival. The squad scattered, but Jackson stayed behind to give his sister time to escape. Alone and with no way home, Anita put her training, extensive weapon knowledge, and competitive spirit to work by joining the Apex games. Now she fights to raise money for passage back to the IMC home base, where she hopes to reunite with what remains of her family. Caustic is a toxic trapper. His passive ability is the Nox Vision, which you gain threat vision on enemies moving through your gas. The active ability is the Nox Gas Trap, which you can place up to 6 canisters that release deadly Nox gas when shot or triggered by enemies. And the ultimate ability is the Nox Gas Grenade, which will blanket a large area in Nox gas. Before there was Caustic, a scientist named Alexander Knox worked at Humbart Labs, the frontier's leading manufacturer of pesticide gases. With a glut of pesticides needed to protect the growing frontier colony's crops, Humbart Labs was constantly on the hunt for better and stronger formulas. Knox was one of the brightest scientists and worked day and night developing new gases. But to make sure that they worked, he needed to test them on more than just inert tissue. He needed something living. As he toiled in secret, Knox began to see the beauty in his creations and the ability to destroy anything that he touched. But the head of Humbart Labs soon discovered his gruesome experiments, and their confrontation ended with the lab in flames and its chief dead. Today, Knox is missing and presumed deceased, but Caustic, meanwhile, now finds the new test subjects in the Apex games, where he puts his gaseous creations to work and observes their efforts with great interest. And finally, Mirage, he's the holographic trickster. His passive ability is Encore, which will automatically drop a decoy and cloak for 5 seconds when knocked down. His active ability is the Psych Out, which will send a holographic decoy to confuse the enemy. And his ultimate is the Vanishing Act, which Mirage then deploys a team of decoys to distract enemies while he cloaks. Mirage is the kind of guy who likes to stand out. The youngest of 4 brothers, he perfected the art of fooling around to get attention. The one thing he took seriously was holopilot technology. Introduced to the illusion-creating tech by his engineer mother, he pored over the mechanisms and learned all he could about them. Even while his brothers went MIA during the Frontier War, Mirage and his mother continued to develop holo devices, and the work brought them closer. While working as a bartender to make ends meet, Mirage heard amazing stories from his patrons about the Apex games and the wealth and glory that came with victory. As good as both of those sounded, he knew he couldn't risk leaving his mother childless until she gave him a set of customized holo devices and told him to follow his dream. Mirage is now the life of the Apex games, outwitting opponents and charming audiences across the Outlands. After looking at all 8 legends available in Apex Legends, which character is your favorite and why? Let us know your thoughts down there in the comment section down below, but for more on Apex Legends, be sure to check out some of our previous guides and upcoming guides, either on our website or here on the channel, like whether or not there are microtransactions in Apex Legends, where to download Apex Legends, and whether there's cross-platform support available for the game. That said, let us know your thoughts in the comments down below, drop a like if you enjoyed, and of course, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and want to stay up to date with all things gaming and all things Apex Legends. But until next time, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the Outlands.